What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 639 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's KB coming at you solo dolo once again. Just getting back from Sunday afternoon baseball at Citizens Bank Park with CFO Margie, as we spent a majority of the weekend, 2 of the 3 days of the weekend, Friday night and today, at Citizens Bank Park as we watch the Phillies get down to business and sweep the Washington Nationals. CFO Margie is going to be a star on the socials with this social series we've been doing with thoughts from our section. Definitely check that out whenever we post them. It is truly some of the funniest, raw reaction to a Phillies win you will ever see. Going to dive into just the importance of that sweep, and then I have a fun topic to talk about since I'm flying solo, and it just came to mind. We're going to get into some of the Philly sports things that make you tick. So super sweet, lighthearted episode this time around, but before we get started, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook.com/Underground Sports PHI, Twitch.tv/Underground Sports PHI. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. You can follow me on Instagram at KBIZZLE11. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts in audio form, but especially on Apple and Spotify. That is where we get direct analytics and metrics to help us grow. See the growth that we're experiencing. So please keep subscribing on Apple and Spotify. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. It really does go a long way for helping the show continue to grow. Allows us to hit new milestones. Lets us see where we can improve in a lot of metrics. And we love hearing feedback from you guys. So keep subscribing. Leave those 5-star reviews on Apple and Spotify. And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Let's get to 800 subbies. Come on, let's make that happen. That is where you get full video episodes of this show every single week, twice a week. It's where you get full video episodes of every show on our network. Clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. Smash that like button, ring the bell icon, leave a comment down below your thoughts on the topic of the episode here. And, of course, this show is presented by the City of Vineland. And the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. You can also follow us on LinkedIn. Just search Underground Sports Philadelphia. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, the Phillies pull off another sweep against the Nationals. I was there with CFO Margie for 2 of the 3 games. Got to see the City Connect unis in person, which they are. The more and more I see the City Connect jerseys and apparel and everything that involves them, the more and more I fall in love with the City Connect jerseys. They are simply growing on me like I never expected, and I liked them to start. I really liked the City Connect jerseys from the jump, having been there on launch day and everything and at the block party. I really enjoyed the aesthetic of the City Connect jerseys a lot more than people did on launch day. But I think more and more people are starting to grow to love the City Connect jerseys. The more and more I see them, the more and more I like them. And seeing them on the players in person enhanced it tenfold for me. They look so good on the players. It's just a different vibe and splash to Citizens Bank Park on a Friday night. They look great under the lights. I was a huge fan of the way the City Connect jerseys looked at Citizens Bank Park, on the players, under the lights at CBP. And you can tell that people are loving the jerseys because not only on City Connect night is everyone wearing a City Connect hat, jersey, t-shirt, whatever it may be. Even on the days that it's not City Connect, people are wearing the jerseys, the hats. They have fully bought in, and I think it's one of those things that I look at the City Connect jerseys very similarly to Gritty. Back when Gritty was announced, a lot of people had mixed emotions, mixed feelings about Gritty coming into the fold and being a new mascot in Philadelphia with so much being so boisterous and being so in your face. And, just the look of Gritty caught a lot of people off guard. And it was like, what is this? This is crazy. Where myself, I'm happy to have been on the right side of history with Gritty. I loved Gritty from the jump. I thought it was a great move for the Flyers to finally introduce a mascot. He fits the aesthetic of the team so well. And I feel the same way about the City Connect jerseys. It's one of those things that catches people off guard. It's something that's new. They're not ready for it. And then as soon as you see it in person, as soon as you start to get adapted to the fact that they're in the mix, you start to gravitate towards it and you start to love it. And I was fortunate enough on Block Party Day to run into John Middleton again, and he had the same sentiments. He was very excited to see them on the players under the lights and in a game, and they truly look phenomenal. I'm a huge fan, and the more and more City Connect jerseys that continue to roll out for these other teams, the more and more it's making me love what the Phillies got with these City Connect jerseys, because some of these jerseys are just so bad, guys. There's so many bad City Connect jerseys that are rolling out, that have already been rolled out and have been in the mix for years now. The Phillies got really lucky, genuinely. And sure, it's not your traditional red pinstripe. It's not, the red and blue aesthetic that you get from the Phillies. But we got super lucky with how, well-designed our City Connect jerseys are compared to a lot of teams. And genuinely, I would say the Phillies have a top 5 City Connect jersey as of now. But they look great on the players. The Phillies get a 3-game sweep against the Nationals. Pitching was great. Players are hitting. And they're the best team in baseball, guys. There's not much to complain about when our hometown team is the best team in baseball. It is the coolest thing. And, as I'm at Citizens Bank Park this weekend, it got me thinking, as I get to spend so much time with CFO Margie at these games, it's kind of turned into our thing, and it's been awesome, and I love it. It's one of my things that I really look forward to whenever there's a game on the schedule for us, whether it's a season ticket game or not. Being able to go down to Citizens Bank Park is truly my Philly sports happy place. So it got me thinking, what are some things tradition-wise, that type of thing, or even just, that you get the opportunity to do. It may not even be a tradition. It's hey, I get to go down to Citizens Bank Park on this day. This is my season ticket day, kind of like myself on a Sunday. But, it's kind of your thing with Philly sports. What is that thing for you that makes you, it tickles your fancy inside. It makes you enjoy what you're about to experience that much more. And I think it is one of those things that we get to experience as sports fans, knowing that, our teams bring us that joy. We are fortunate enough to have something like that brings us that much serotonin and happiness and joy and something to look forward to. What is that? What team is it that brings you that joy? For me, it's the Phillies. I genuinely, if you've listened to this show for a month or 6 years, you know that the Phillies are my top dogs. And, being able to go down to Citizens Bank Park as much as I am, and building this podcast and this podcast network has afforded me a lot of opportunities to do things that are building my relationship with the Phillies beyond my wildest dreams. And we're hoping to just, expand upon that even more and hopefully get more knowledge out there for you guys in the near future. But, you know, being around this team with season tickets last year for the first time, and, you know, just telling myself to say, hey, just go for it with certain opportunities, has really, like, given me perspective on how much the Philadelphia Phillies as an organization truly mean to me, and what it means for me to be able to walk through those gates at Citizens Bank Park whenever there is a game, whether it's regular season, postseason, whatever it may be. I get this overjoyed sense of, like, wow, like, I'm in my, like, Zen mode here. Like, being at Citizens Bank Park brings me that joy, and that just, like, I feel like a kid, you know, walking through the gates of Citizens Bank Park, strolling that concourse, smelling all of the food scents, and, you know, going into, whether it's the 47 brand store, no free ads, but shout out to 47 brand, they're the best hats in the game, hands down. You know, going into the New Era team store, going around and seeing memorabilia, and, you know, just seeing the different jerseys that people are wearing, and seeing, you know, hey, I invested in that player. That's the jersey I'm wearing. Or that's the player t-shirt I'm wearing. Like, baseball does that for me. And it's the history mixed with the new wave of fandom that truly just, like, there's nothing better than a baseball game. And being able to go to Citizens Bank Park is truly, like, my happy place when it comes to Philly sports. And that's not to take away from any of the other teams. You guys know I love the Eagles, I love the Sixers, love the Flyers, love the Union, love the Wings, and I love our new Waterdogs. But, man, the Phillies are just, like, they are, like, closest to the vest. Like, they are, like, my children. I love the Phillies that much. Like, they truly, like, get me going. You guys know, like, when spring training rolls around, I am like a kid in a candy store, because I know we're that much closer to being back at Citizens Bank Park. We're that much closer to warm weather, the summertime, sunshine on our skin. It truly is, like, the perfect combination sport. And it going from, you know, February all the way through to November, if your team makes it to the World Series, like, it is, like, year round. And then, like, the offseason shorter now because the Phillies have been so good, and, you know, you have, you know, just less time to wait around and have to, you know, twiddle your thumbs waiting for the Phillies to come back. Like, it is truly, like, 2 months that they're off now, and then they're back, and it's like a year-round sport for us again. But being able to be at Citizens Bank Park is, like, my happy place. And I know a lot of people experience that with the Eagles, and being able to go to tailgates, and maybe not even necessarily going into the game, but being able to be at a tailgate, and being able to be around your friends and your family, and experiencing, you know, your shared passion and love and joy for the Philadelphia Eagles, while also, you know, consuming food and sharing food with people. Shout out to my boy Dylan, you know, Philaticus, the GOAT. I need to get to a tailgate this year so I can try his elite tailgate cuisines. He is truly a special person who has brought so many people together through the power and love and joy of food and the Philadelphia Eagles. And, you know, this topic kind of bounced off my mind as well of like, finding that happy place with Philly sports. Just because the Phillies have been so good, and it's brought so much joy to the city, but also, you know, we're sharing it as a team. And shout out to my dear friend Morgan Clifford, MoCliffff. If you're not listening to the Shareables pod, you're missing out. She brought this up, you know, what bonds people together, and what are some things that you like to share. And knowing that, you know, you can share the ups and downs as a sports fan, to me, is just so powerful and such a passion-filled thing. That it really makes you think about stuff like this. And, you know, you think about during the process era of the Sixers, how many people gravitated towards each other and came together in such a down time and a dark time for the franchise to sit down and say, hey, we're going to trust the process, and we are going to, you know, come together and go through this era as a fandom. We're going to buy in and do this. And, you know, the rights to Ricky Sanchez did such a good job of curating a community and fandom from the darkest points in 76ers history of so much losing, so much agony, dart throws and trades and pick swaps and everything, but so many people found joy in that. And that's why Sixers fans are so passionate. And we as Sixers fans want and hold the team to such a high standard. And I think, it gets lost a lot on people that, we're really directing that high standard to the top of the organization all the way down. It's not just the players. It's not just the coaches. It's not just Daryl Morey. It's also the front office and the ownership, and making sure that they understand that, like, this team deserves to be bought into, and, giving Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey the best opportunities to win. And, the process cultivated that kind of culture and that expectation for this team. And it's kind of getting that way with the Flyers now, and the diehard Flyers fans. You look at how so many Flyers fans are rallying around the hope and I think just the pure expectation of what Matvei Michkov can be for this team and being the next face of the franchise. It has been so long since the Flyers have had a player that is like the true face of the team, that, this young, talented, unbelievable player from Russia is going to come to the Philadelphia Flyers and wants to come to the Philadelphia Flyers and be that guy and be one of those faces of Philadelphia sports, along with the Bryce Harpers and the Joel Embiids and the Tyrese Maxeys and the Jalen Hurts and anyone else that you kind of classify as a face of Philly sports. And I look at the passion of being able to cover the Philadelphia Wings and the passion of the fans and how badly they want this team to succeed, and knowing that the talent on that team, myself included, knows that the talent on the team is so elite, and they need to get over the hump because they have the talent to do it. And you see the passion on the sleeve of somebody like Paul Day, who, stepped down as the head coach but is staying on as the GM because he knows he can lead this team to a championship and build a championship contending roster. We saw the passion from him this year, and he broke down in tears in a press conference, and it is just truly the strain and the pressure of somebody who wants to win so badly for so many people. Not only just the players in that locker room, not only just the coaches on his staff, not just the ownership of the Philadelphia Wings, but for his family, for his peers. He wants to go out and prove that he can be a champion in the NLL again. And I think he has what it takes to be an NLL winning GM. And I genuinely believe the Philadelphia Wings will be hoisting that NLL Cup sooner rather than later. And, I get joy of being around the sport of lacrosse a lot, much like baseball. It brings me a very similar joy, and I'm excited to have this team in our city now, the Philadelphia Waterdogs. They are a team that, if you have not bought in yet, if you have not thought about a new professional team, the Waterdogs are that team for you to get behind. They are built to win championships. They are fun. They are likable. They are easy to root for. The face of the franchise is from Philly. They are going to bring the city a lot of joy, and get behind them now. Year one of them being in Philadelphia, but for the past couple of years, they have felt like Philadelphia's team. And the Philadelphia Union as well. They have such a passionate fan base with the Sons of Ben, and them knowing that this team has what it takes to push chips in and win at the MLS's elite level. And very similar to Sixers fans, I think. They hold the organization to a high standard, from the players to the coaches to the front office, and they know what they expect of this franchise because they've seen the talent come through. They've seen the youth development and the homegrown talent come through this team. And we are so lucky to live in a city where sports bring out that passion, that feel-good, that bonding experience for so many. And I genuinely love hearing stories of how somebody became a fan of a team in this city what got them motivated to root for X team, X player, whoever it may be, even getting behind a coach, stuff like that. It is really fun to hear those stories. So if you have a story of a team, a player, a year you got behind a team, and what made you a fan, what brings you joy, and what is that happy place for you when it comes to Philly sports, leave a comment in the YouTube comment section. Tweet it at us at UndergroundPHI. DM it to us. We'd love to feature some on our social media pages. But definitely let us know, what is that happy place for you when it comes to Philly sports. It can be a player, it can be a team, it can be a stadium, a venue, a year in the past that, you reminisce on the 2008 Phillies, the 2017 Eagles, the Broad Street Bully Flyers, the Sixers in the 80s. What is that moment? Even the 2001 it could have been a team that didn't even win a championship. The 2001 Sixers, the 2022 Eagles, the 2022 Phillies, the 2009 Phillies, the whole run of the Phillies from 07 to 11. The run of the Eagles from 01 to 04. What are those moments, those teams, those memories that really bring you to a happy place when it comes to your Philly sports fandom? I want to hear them all. Let me know in the YouTube comment section. Leave it as a podcast review. I will read all of them, or as many of them as I can, on a future episode. Feature them on our social media platforms, because I think it is a great topic of discussion. It is one of those things that you sit at a bar, at a restaurant with a friend, with a group of friends, and you talk about, this is what got me into this fandom. Do you remember that moment in, 2009 when Cliff Lee in the World Series just casually caught the ball? Do you remember Ranger Suarez closing out the 2022 NLCS, Bedlam at the bank, Chase Utley at the All-Star game in the Home Run Derby? There's so many moments that bring you to joyful mental places or just pure happiness that stimulate you and remind you of what it's like to be a Philly sports fan. So let me know what those moments, those players, those teams, those venues, whatever it may be, in the YouTube comment section. Tweet it at us at UndergroundPHI. DM it to us across the socials, and we will feature them on an upcoming episode and across our social media platforms for sure. Make sure you guys are following us, though, at UndergroundPHI, the aforementioned, on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, all across the board. Underground PHI, and Facebook and Twitch is Underground Sports PHI. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311 and KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the podcast feed. Leave a 5-star rating and review with your Philly sports happy place. It really does help the show continue to grow when you guys subscribe, when you leave reviews, when you share it with your friends and your people. So keep on subscribing. And of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Leave a like on this video. Drop a comment with your Philly sports happy place. Ring the bell icon so you know whenever we have videos that go live are on the channel and you don't miss out on any of the content we're putting out. Get your merch. phiapparel.co, code underground, 10% off your merch order. And this show is presented by the City of Vineland. Whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you are considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. Hopefully this podcast is some of your guys' happy places when it comes to Philly sports content consumption. We appreciate the heck out of you guys who tune in at any time, whether this is your first time or you're a weekly loyal and devout listener of Underground Sports Philadelphia. We appreciate you. We're going to expand on this topic a lot more moving forward for sure. I might try to get Morgan Clifford to talk about this more because it would be so much fun to talk and get her perspective on this. Subscribe to her podcast as well, Shareables Pod on Spotify, and follow it on the socials at shareables_pod or shareables.pod. I'll link it in the description. Shout out to Mo. She's the best. This has been episode number 639 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. Go find that Philly sports happy place for yourselves. Everybody have a great week. We'll be back. Probably regularly scheduled program, more than likely on the next episode. And then we'll figure out everything because DJ's going to be in town for NCAA Final Four lacrosse action this weekend. And he's here for a week and a half or so. So a lot of stuff coming from Underground Studios that you won't want to miss. But until the next episode, I'm getting the heck up out of here. And I'm signing off. Enjoy your Philly sports happy places. Peace.